apocalyptic scenes on the ground.
Oh my God.
Residents watching in horror, filming as their neighborhoods burn. Hours earlier, Israeli officials sending text messages and radio announcements urging civilians in villages occupied by Hezbollah to leave immediately for their safety. But there was little time before the missiles began to fall. This dashcam video capturing the moment one explodes. Traffic snarling along the main highways, families loading into trucks, hoping to find safety in the capital, Beirut. The Israeli Defense Forces accusing Hezbollah of storing munitions in civilian homes, claiming these videos show what appears to be a cruise missile hidden inside these collapsible walls. Already, Hezbollah launching counterattacks, more than 250 rockets, some hitting near Haifa, the country's third largest city. The Israeli cabinet declaring a special situation nationwide.
Let's bring in Martha Raddatz again live in the region for us tonight. Martha, how concerned is the U.S. about this conflict escalating into an all-out war here?
Well, David, we already have 40,000 U.S. troops in the region, including a carrier strike group at sea. But there is concern tonight this conflict could spiral out of control, leaving tens of thousands of Americans needing evacuation. And these additional troops could help with that. David?
Martha Raddatz leading us off here. Martha, thank you. One more question on this. I want to get right to our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell. He's live in Beirut tonight. And Ian, you and I were both on the ground covering Israel's war with Hezbollah nearly 2 decades ago now. What's the real concern tonight after what we've witnessed already here?
I think the civilian casualty rate is likely to climb, not least because, like Hamas, Hezbollah comes from these local populations. That is where they store and fire weapons from, and then that brings retaliation. And Hezbollah has a lot more firepower, fighters and external support than Hamas. That means they can damage Israel much greater. I mean, according to the organization, they're capable of hitting almost anywhere in Israel, and we haven't seen even the least of their firepower yet. Israel's invasions and wars in the past ultimately didn't make the country safe or diminish Hezbollah. So what can Israel really do differently this time? David?
Ian Pannell and Martha Raddatz both in the region for us. Ian, thank you. Meantime, back here in the U.S. tonight, the new tropical threat gaining strength, set to become a hurricane before it hits the U.S. The state of emergency in Florida at this hour already, getting ready for potential landfall as a Category 3 hurricane. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee with the timing and the track of this. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, David. Right now, that low-pressure system, which will become Helene, will pass close to Cancun on the west side of Cuba, right through that waterway there. So we've got hurricane watches up. And look at Key West now with the tropical storm watch. Anticipate tomorrow much of Florida to start seeing these warnings and watches because we anticipate this storm to become a hurricane and then strengthen as it heads toward that Big Bend Panhandle area. Remember, this is a cone, and so you can see the center move anywhere from, I'd say, Panama City to Crystal River. But either way, that right side, the dirty side, could have impacts all the way down to southwest Florida. We're talking Naples takes on a lot of water even when these storms go up that far north. 2 to 4 degree water temperatures above average. Plenty of fuel. We've got that upper level low that's going to bring it up with some really heavy rains for Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama too. David.
Tracking this for the next several days with you, Ginger. Thank you. Tonight to that assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. Prosecutors now revealing chilling new evidence that they say ties suspect Ryan Ruth to that second attempt. They say they've discovered a handwritten letter he allegedly wrote and then dropped off at a friend's house months before. What that letter reveals. Victor Kento in Florida tonight.
You want to go in?
Keep walking!
Tonight, chilling new evidence tying Ryan Ruth, seen here during this dramatic arrest, to the second attempted assassination of former President Trump in Florida. Authorities say Ruth dropped off a box at a friend's house several months ago containing a handwritten letter, Ruth writing, "Dear World, this was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I am so sorry I failed you," and offering a cash reward for anyone who succeeded. Investigators say that friend didn't open the box until after Ruth's arrest. Ruth appearing in federal court today. Prosecutors saying the evidence clearly demonstrates a month-long plan to assassinate the former president. Investigators say cell phone data shows the 58-year-old suspect was near Mar-a-Lago and staked out the grounds of Trump's West Palm Beach golf course for weeks. Ruth hid outside the fence of the 6th hole in what authorities today described as a sniper's nest out of a war zone. He was 1 hole ahead of Trump and estimated 100 feet away from the green Trump was headed to, what prosecutors say would be an easy shot. A Secret Service agent spotting the barrel of an assault-style rifle sticking out of the fence, opening fire. Authorities say Ruth then fled. Authorities also say Ruth searched for directions from West Palm Beach to Mexico. He will remain in custody, scheduled to be arraigned next week, and prosecutors say they will try to charge him with attempted assassination. David?
Victor Akendo with us tonight. Victor, thank you. We turned out at the race for the White House 43 days to the election. The new national poll tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris extending her lead nationally. But the story tonight in the key battlegrounds that will decide this election,